Hey up lads and lasses, Damphyre here, back again with some more Infinite Lagrange. Now, as mentioned in yesterday's video, I was going to do a quick sort of roundup on data servers and what I thought on them. As you can see, we've got 2 hours and 17 minutes here till the gate is open, so we are at the end of the server. So, it's an interesting server, and you definitely should try it at least once, is sort of the TLDR of it all. But I just want to make people sort of aware of some issues that sort of happen within the data servers. Now, as you can see right now, if I zoom out, pretty much everywhere is going to be on fire. And everywhere is in radiation. Now, that radiation is basically permanent by the end of the server, which means running destroyers becomes quite hard. But because everything's bright red and this will kill everything, this red bit, this is the jets from the sun, this will kill anything, you're limited into playing inside of, these sort of areas, the clouds, which you can only get destroyers into. So what ends up happening is you might have a couple of cruisers to scout, so you'll fly your cruisers here, so it's within the radiation that won't affect the cruisers, and then you'll build your operations into the clouds to get your destroyers in, because as you can see, people have set up bases all inside of these. Yes, you can hide behind these planets. That's completely fine, but you need to collect data, and there's limited amounts of data within these safe zones, and you will grab it in like absolutely no time at all. So we came down to Calydon at one point. We started grabbing all this data. The reason we came to a level 7 is because it's far, far better to grab from these big level 7 cities or nodes, just because of how much more data you can get. So, in comparison, Calydon Research Center, you build 10 large miners, you stick the 4 times storage upgrades on them, like I have here. So you got 4 storage upgrades, 1 mining upgrade. Obviously, you get your warp and stuff. And that is probably the most efficient way to mine, because it costs 20 AP just to send the fleet. Now that will mine for about an hour and 15 minutes, somewhere around there, from a level 7, and come back and you'll have about 787 points, I believe. So your next thing is you go to the Lagrange gate, and you either deliver to one of these points, but that's 1,000 data points per single delivery. So it's kind of a waste of your time. You're better off delivering to the cities within the safe zones, where you can get a rating point for 700 data. That means every hour and something, you get a rating point. It's an hour and something, which means you're getting your 20 AP back. So you can reasonably get about 14 RP per member from the large level 7 cities and above. So that's all good and well, and I've got absolutely no issue with that. It's not too hard to farm. Yes, you've pulled all your miners off, which means you're not mining any metal or anything like that anymore. So if you do get into wars, you get into a situation where you have to pull your miners back, put them back onto your advanced mining platforms or anything like that, just to recoup, so when you're at battling and losing ships, you can rebuild them. The issue comes when you've emptied all these level 7 cities, and level 5 cities are pretty good as well. You get pretty much stuck into a position where you need to mine from level 3s, this is level 5, within these clouds, which means you're limited to your medium mining ships. Now, the best fleet setups that were worked out were using 10 AC721s, the standard variant, all with storage upgrades, and then 5 of each of the other AC variants as well, the the missile variant and the dual purpose variant, and that gives you as much possible storage as you can get, and then you go mining, and it roughly equated to getting about 3 to 4 RP a day per member. You compare that to the 14 AP, and that was, 14 hours of playing the game, not necessarily playing the game, just sending your fleet off every hour, for 14 hours, which is reasonable. It's not, massively difficult to do that. Yeah, people have jobs and stuff, so maybe you bring that down to maybe 8 or 9. But again, a lot of people, you can get your phone out of work, send your fleet off, turn your phone back off, and, you're fine. So I don't think 14 RP is, an unreasonable target there. So all of these basically became a waste of time. And because of the amount of data that you do get in these level 7s, it takes a few days to mine these out. It took us, I think, 2-3 days to mine Calydon completely out. That's not including the fact that we had a jet come out and just, take any outposts and everything out there. So we had to move out the way for a bit. And during that period of time, which, by the way, the end of the server, these jets are every day. They'll disappear after a couple of days, or like 3 days or something like that, and you'll be like, oh look, we could go mine, and you'll have like a day or 2 days at max. But this radiation is constant, and it just led the gameplay to really getting into a bad position where you don't want to run cruiser fleets because then you can't get into the clouds. So you run cruiser like KCCVs or IOs because they're high speed to scout, and it just made the game like really damn tedious, and I think it's a problem. What they should have ideally done is maybe just gotten rid of all of these nodes that are within clouds, gave us a few more of the large nodes that are outside of clouds and, potentially jet zoned areas, and got rid of the radiation. The radiation was too much, I think, with the inclusion of the jets and everything. I think it's just too much. So yeah, I do recommend you go try it out. It's an interesting way to play the game because it does absolutely mix everything up. There's no occupancy or anything like that. There is sort of an occupancy. You're delivering to cities and stuff like that, which means you do need to try and keep hold of a couple of good cities because the cities are worth keeping. Every 3 deliveries to a city is like an extra delivery or something like that. It kind of works out as in comparison to the Lagrange gate. And yeah, you can deliver to the Lagrange gate and then your data's always safe and you don't have to worry about cities. But I just don't think it's realistically any better than just doing the cities. Most unions of decent sizes can hold on to at least one decent city. So yeah, there you have it. It's awkward to move around. The data mining, once you've mined all the big nodes out and you're now stuck mining in the clouds, is tedious and repetitive. Fleet design becomes an issue because you can't really run cruisers in fleets because 90% of the time you're battling in clouds or having to go around clouds because you're trying to dodge the jets. And the jets themselves just prove either, completely redundant because they're just blocking out this zone and you could warp over it anyway. So, that didn't make any difference. Or, you just sat there waiting for days for the jets to disappear. So, yeah, I think they need to redesign it. It was an interesting idea. I have enjoyed quite a bit of time. We had some fantastic battles with Visionaries and a few of the other unions, and it was a lot of fun. So do check it out. But yeah, it's going to be a one-off for me, I think. I would choose never to do data recovery ever again. Unless they change something, then I might consider it. Have a good one, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.